Good Lord. My name is Suns fan. Joe, I don't know. That was the worst intro ever, actually. This is Joel Larson GG at twitter.com, of course. The game has begun. We have 7 lords and a boss 4. Not a big boss 4, but a boss 4, mind you. His name is Forhe. Are we rooting for the underdog based on just pure ranks alone?
Sure. I mean, why not? I love underdogs. It's a good story.
You know, I would say everyone loves underdogs, but it's actually not true.
No?
There's a lot of Laker fans out there. So that's a whole nother story, though. So BBG, of course, probably the most well-known player in this lobby based on the Underlords history so far, which is very short, or very not as developed as other games as of yet.
We can see snofe playing Axe right away. We saw him doing that in kind of his test games, the time where it was bugged. But it seems like he's actually liking brownies here.
Indeed. I mean, Bronny's definitely got a great change, right?
Yeah, they did.
Without the bugs.
Exactly.
They're really good.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because if he's played enough games in the new hotfix that came this morning, maybe realized that they were very good because brownies and demons are kind of the latest changed units given the small fix this morning.
Now, with brownies, what are your choices? So here's the thing about brownies that I don't quite understand at the current point in time because of the changes that were made just very recently. Typically, if you went brawny before and you did not get the brawny buff, you just keep them as like a temporary solution, just as tanks, and you get out of them eventually. Now it feels like you're investing something in them because of these kills. Is it something that you can actually, or a strategy that's viable, you can keep them for later and then build around them like with hunters like we've seen before? Yeah,
no, you're completely right. The earlier you get them, the better. So at some point in the game, not even the late, not even in the mid game, I think most of the time it's a mistake to pick them up. But then, I mean, you can always play an axe on a 2-star axe if you want to. That's all fine and good. But it's, as you say, you want to stack up these kills as fast as possible with them taking kills from the creep ground. And we could see a perfect Tusk. Almost perfect. I mean, I think he
got 1 kill, right?
I don't think so. I think it went down to 1 HP.
Oh, he punched a creep, my friend.
Yeah, he did.
Pretty sure the punch is a kill. Whoa! He punched a creep and it didn't
Laser
die?
eyes, my friend.
Oh, my.
Ooh, and we have Axe 2 as well with 6 kills.
Let's see what pops up in his shop, just out of curiosity's sake.
Right. So snofe is really looking for a Beastmaster here, especially because Beastmaster is very good at getting last hits. And it's also going to be a big part of your hunter comp later. And the reason why brownies are so good with hunters is, of course, Beastmaster is a hunter, and you don't need that many different brownies to have a good tank frontline. And you always want 6 hunters when you're playing hunters. So if you don't need as many positions, if you don't need 9 positions, then brownies just kind of makes that work for you.
So is there anything other than hunters, though? Because that's mainly what we've seen, because based on what you're saying, the Beastmaster actually fitting some sort of comp.
Yeah.
But is there any way to fit something in consistently, not just like as an off one game, you know?
What brownies really need is some kind of consistent amount of damage. So you really need something that deals a lot of it. And any comp that deals a lot of damage, it could work with. I think it can work with mages as well. With Juggernaut dealing a lot of damage with a spin, when you have magic damage. All of these things are kind of, unexplored, one could say. Yeah. Because they haven't been out for that long. I mean, they have been out, but they were bugged, so people haven't had that many games with them yet.
Yep. That's definitely true.
Could also have something like a Terrorblade comp. I mean, 3 warriors, some brownies, Terrorblade.
I mean, yeah, the demons need some sort of front line, right? So why not just some fat piles of garbage in front? Or human garbage, as you would say.
Right.
So we got a little knight action here for MeNoHaxor with a level 2 Tusk in the middle of this sandwich. Pretty strong board, just based on the fact that CK1, as we've kind of talked about many a time, is probably the strongest 1-star unit in the game that's of this cost.
So you're often going to see, we can see he's playing a snofe here, that you put an item on the axe early because you want to make the most out of him and give him the highest probability of still getting last hits. Don't think he got it in here, but it's going to be close, right?
Well,
I think Venomaster is going to take care of... No, there was another stun. And I believe the stun almost dealt maximum damage, right? I think it deals a random amount of damage.
Yeah.
In the same way that it deals a random amount of stun, much like Dota 2. And yeah, that's kind of...
This is one of the tooltips that probably needs to be updated because there's not much info on actually what Chaos Bolt does. But again, since we do have Dota, we can assume a lot of things, of course.
So how hyped are you on BBG and Bloodbound item?
Oh, I didn't even see that. Wow. Well, he's not making much use of it other than just the raw HP that he now receives thanks to that buff recently.
He does have that Luna, though.
I got
so
a lot of tweets
prepping.
at me, Joel, with some crazy Bloodbounds where people are getting 4 in the same game. I mean, so Bloodbound in theory is really strong if you don't have to have Ogre, Magi, or Warlock in your lineup. Right.
No, I agree. You prefer to have 2 broad contracts. You can put one of them in there, especially a Warlock, if you want the second Warlock Alliance Warlock in there, just to buff the other 2, but definitely works with just 2 contracts also.
Well, it looks like BBG will take this round. The level 2 Bat Rider. Extremely good unit, of course. And we're seeing a lot of Aegises come into play again. We got 3 on board right now, and this is only at round 6, so are we going to see a game where every single person gets an Aegis? That's what I'm waiting for.
It's going to be the casting APM fight again.
Yeah, pretty much. Only 2 smugglers so far. And of course, we talked about the dream is embarrassment smuggler into fall from grace.
Yeah.
Nobody has that 3 combo yet, but I mean, Aegis is a nice thing to fall back on, of course.
It must be rough to see 2 players having embarrassment into smuggler into Aegis here, while you're not having any good global item yourself. But definitely, there's more ways to get good RNG in this game, of course. With your rolls, it's not only about the items.
Well, even the equipables that were quote-unquote not great before did get buffed as well, right? Gloves have an extra 5 attack speed, chainmail's back to 10, armor, and Tranquil Boots has more HP regen, although I feel like we almost never see that item.
Blade Mail now giving Wait, no, it
not
doesn't.
Blade Mail.
One day.
Blade Mail is actually the odd man, or the odd item out, right? In terms of the buffs? That feels very underwhelming.
That and Brooch, but Brooch was always just fine, so.
Brooch of the Aggressor.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Brooch of the Martyr got the buff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
BBG and Wise Usach still streaking. The man who's always going to be YCA4 for Sunsfan, of course. What's Cmel doing? He's staying at 4. He's going for some kind of a loose streak here. Pretty bad start. So he's kind of trying to invest into his bad start by getting a lot of 1-cost units for free with the 3 rerolls, of course.
Do we see that it's free, by the way? I don't remember if that was a thing.
We'll see. Let's have a look.
You're assuming he's going to lose this round?
I mean, yes. Look at
so
that.
There's Brooch of the Martyr, of course, on Razor. The extra debuff now that you get from holding it, pretty nice.
Yeah. I think Luna, Pudge, and Chaos Knight could solo this team.
Yep, I would have to agree with you on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look then. This is for science. Although we cast an entire day yesterday, and
this is kind of what we talked about yesterday about flooding the board and having like three pair of rolls. That he bought a few units now, and we're gonna see what he needs for his next roll, and then he's gonna get a free roll. So he's gonna be hoping to get that animation Razor before he naturally levels up. That's one of the strategies by going for a loose streak, is that you get a real advantage in getting those 1-cost units upgraded. Ooh, we have an Animage.
Ooh, actually sees a couple Clockworks, which, you know, Scrappies are pretty good.
Yeah, selling a lot of things as well.
This is crazy. 2 AM2s.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we're looking into maybe Scrappy Demons. Could we see that?
Yeah, I mean, Scrappy Demons, we just talked about how Brawny Demons could work, right?
Why not?
Kind of serves the same purpose.
So
the only thing is, like, for Brawny, you need 2 or 4. And then for Scrappies, I feel like you need 4 regardless.
He actually got another Clockwork right away. It's pretty good on his free reroll. Yeah, the other issue with Scrappies for Demons is that they don't really have much crowd control. So that could be a thing. Although Clockwork 3 feels like a 3-man stun. I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
His battery assault gets super crazy at level 3. It doesn't scale at all 1 to 2, but at 3 it is insane. Of course, he did just get buffed in terms of HP and whatnot not too long ago. So as a unit, I feel like he's in a strong place right now.
I agree. I actually had him this morning at 3.
Oh, really?
Yes, I did.
There's the free reroll.
Oh, here's the
Terrorblade.
So
actually sold out of 2 Shadow Fiends, my friend.
We can see the new change with the new patch coming in right away. I think he was deciding and keeping those Shadow Fiends in before he found his Terrorblade, because it's not really worth it to add just one other demon, given that then Terrorblade loses 50% of his own damage, while Shadow Fiend stays the same, so not really worth it.
See, I understand that argument. It's just a Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, true.
I mean, the AoE damage is unaffected by any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I
but you know, with scrappy events, I kind of talked about this before, but I feel like you do need to get 4, right?
Yes.
For it to be somewhat viable. Like 2 is not going to, the random buff on the unit, that's not going to cut it.
I honestly also think that you kind of need. I really prefer that you get techies in the late game also, because 4.
Really?
Yeah, 4 inventors is so much better than 3 inventors.
Yeah, we could still get gyro instead, right?
That's true, but that takes up another slot on the side. Then it's going to be 4 scrappies plus 1 more inventor.
Mm-hmm.
Because 15%, 30% is a lot more than 15, of course. Some might even say it's double the amount. Very powerful
Sounds like
ability.
it, yeah.
Sounds like it, yeah. Especially if you have mages, but I don't think we're going to do that in this lineup.
Let's go over to YCA, who is streaking right now, 6-0. I was just talking to you about how based on the fact that so many things have changed in terms of comeback mechanics and whatnot, that getting a streak 8-0 out of the gate is probably a lot more difficult.
It is.
But he's doing just dandy. He has Warlock with the Warrior frontline and some Savage units to boot, and 2 Helm of the Undyings.
Yeah. I feel like the best kind of lineups to do this is exactly what Usage has. Warlocks and Savages. They're very good in the early game. They're very... they have a lot of regen, they have a lot of heals, also a lot of stackable damage. It doesn't really scale that well through the late game, but if you have such a good start, you're way ahead on leveling, so I think that's a good strategy for sure. Also, I've seen a lot more Kankas lately, and also in my games on the high Lord level.
Is that because of this item, you think? I've seen a lot of this on him, too.
I think that people realized they was good again. I don't know. I mean,
I never went off of him personally, but I think maybe it's easier to get Fall from Grace, and he is really good in Fall from Grace. It's just like a one-of human just to get that extra proc, right?
Could 100% see that. Strong unit for sure.
I mean, people weren't playing him as much after he got slightly nerfed. I think it was the AoE to Ghost Ship, but
yeah, no, the AoE is the same, I think, but it's the damage got decreased, and I think also the stun got decreased on level 1, but it's still the same on 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that AoE.
Yeah, pretty big. You know,
Could be wrong. Could be wrong though. I'm not 100%. It was a long time ago they changed it.
All right, well, YCA, this is going to be 8-0 streak, and his streak will end now. So very successful game so far. 88 net worth on top as a result of this. No surprise there.
We talked about that yesterday also, that with the new free reroll, people will not as easily contest your streak. I mean, you'll be contested because there's a lot of good players in this lobby, of course, but people are kind of trying to not try to win as easily anymore, or they're not trying to force to win.
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to say, very close to Axe 3. It's a Blink Axe 3, my friend. And for you guys that don't know, Blink gets you 50 mana instantly, and it teleports you, of course. But the thing is, Joel, I don't know if you know this as a Lord player.
Only heard it 10 times from you.
I'd be shocked if you know this. Axe only has 50 mana to speak of, so this is an instant call. Oh!
Yeah.
Right. Decent one.
Actually, Axe 3 is super important to get if you're going for Brawny Hunters. Or I wouldn't say super important, but it's very good. Because Axe usually has a lot of issues getting his kills up. But when he's on level 3, he actually has a respectable 210 damage. And as you can see here, he's usually the only man standing, which means he can usually pick up some kills in the end also.
Yeah, true. 17 kills right now. And who's the other Brawny right now? Is it Beast?
Yeah.
Let's see how many kills he has. Probably not many. 0 kills, unfortunately for him.
Yeah. You usually see those switched, but given the start, this is where we're at. Yeah.
That shows the state of Juggernaut right now.
Yes.
That you just take the free reroll and not even bother with them.
I think there's 2 ways to do Brawlers and Hunters. Either you go for the double Warlock, with you go Disruptor plus Axe, and then you could add Necrophos to have both the Warlock buff and the Heartless, and then you skip the Warrior front line and have those Warlock heals instead. Or you can go the triple Warrior, go Pudge, and Tusk works very well, but I think he's good with the Savage buff, but he's usually a little bit too weak later in the game. And then, of course, Axe.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Axe, still a beefcake. 18 kills now for him. 3,300 HP pool. He's still losing pretty much every fight. In fact, what is his... He's at a 4-loss streak right now. Wow, look at the gold discrepancy here. Wow, YCA is still winning every game. 118, that feels...
Yeah, he's going to also continue
really
winning
high.
because he also found a lone druid now, which completes his 4 savages. And, I mean, a tier 4 unit at rank 2 right now is just very, very powerful.
Yeah, that's kind of disgusting. This is like something that you'd be playing right now, I think.
Correct. You have seen me doing this many times.
Well, 3 hunters on board for Snofe. We'll watch him for one more round, although it is just the wolf round.
Yeah. Just really hoping his axe racks up a few more kills. And I honestly think he wants to find a blade mail as well.
For Axe or who?
Yeah. Exactly,
So no
for
more
Axe.
Blink Axe.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a bit of a meme? How good do you think Blink Axe actually is?
I think it's kind of overrated. I mean, it makes sense with the 50 mana, but you want Axe on the front lines anyways, so you don't want him to leave your poor hunters alone.
If he could get a good call every time, then it would be great.
Yeah,
right?
the problem is he blinks to the target that's furthest away. He's not blinking to where there's most mass,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. If he blinked always in the middle of the pack, it would have been amazing, but if there's like a gyro in the end, he blinks all over there, and your hunter's just like, where did you go, Axe?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. In some ways, I can kind of recognize that feeling in Dota.
Oh, yeah. That's happened to me many a time.
Yes. Same
Well, luckily
here.
for him, Blink Dagger can't get canceled by damage, so he'll
True.
be good to go wherever he goes. So with this Fall from Grace, we got 4 Heartless working
Yeah, this
for
is
Snofe. It's pretty powerful.
one way to do it as well. The triple warrior lineup becomes a lot better when you have Fall from Grace because it's, of course, a lot easier to assemble 4 Heartless. So, very powerful start actually for Snofe, I think. He just needs some upgrades.
His HP is the issue, right?
Right. I think he has a very good setup, but he is healthy enough to be able to come back here, I think. He has a lot of potential. He just needs... I mean, he knows exactly what he wants to do from here, I think. He just wants more levels, more hunters, and that's it.
I feel like this might be the time to put Blink on Lycan instead to get that faster
Yes, I agree.
summon wolves going. And I mean, considering, look at his front line, like actually pretty weak other than Axe. He has a lot of level 1 units despite having a level 3. The discrepancy is kind of crazy.
We saw that some yesterday also, and I'm not honestly sure what's the reason, but wow, Wild Sage usage actually streaking again. Still at 100 HP.
Yeah, he's having a great game.
And we can see, like in most other esports, even though there's comeback mechanics in this, great players often keeps their lead when they have this big of a lead. I mean, 11-0 is just outstanding. I think
Giant net worth lead.
Yeah, we're gonna see usage in the top 3 almost for sure. But then again, he has the Savage lineup that
He
is
just went to 8 as well.
very good in the early and the mid game, so he needs to be able to transition from that very well.
Yeah.
Which he is. He's leveling, and that's the most important part.
I think I'll check after this battle. I believe Snofe actually might be second in net worth despite being the bottom in terms of HP.
Yeah.
So he's starting to peak quite nicely here. Of course, the Fall from Grace did help quite a bit.
Most definitely.
Yeah, he is second in net worth. So who do you want to watch now? This is your call, buddy. We only have what? Oh, only 3 Knight players right now.
Seems pretty standard. Let's have a look at Cmel again, who was doing the scrappy demon build. Seems like that's exactly what he did.
Yep, 4 Scrappies now.
Oh, animation 3, finally.
Finally, God, been waiting so long.
We saw a lot of animation in the beginning. Come on.
True.
Yeah. So what he's really looking for here is, I think he's looking for
This guy.
Alchemist and more Terrorblades, of course, and a Tekis along the road. But that's a little bit further in the future. Bounty is a little awkward in this setup because that's not really a hero you want in the end game, and with this free roll mechanic, it's usually easy to get a lot of them because nobody else cares about him. So right now we see 2 of them, but there's a good chance he'll sell both of them.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I mean, level 3 Bounty Hunter is nice and all, but it's not that good.
No, exactly. I think he's not going to try to go for level 3. He's just going to sell both, and so he doesn't lose all his gold.
Axe continues to dominate for Snofe.
Yeah.
As he's starting to streak, I do believe. Yep, on a 3-win streak now.
A true carry, much like an artifact. RIP.
Even after the nerf.
Yes.
Very, very good. Well, Blink Dagger, as we've seen, is applied to Terrorblade, so you're just looking for that level 2. And we're getting close to the creep round, so probably will not be doing anything crazy here. Might just chill.
Usage? Do you think Usage will complete double streaks?
All right, let's go to him. Let's take a look here. Still a level 1 Shadow Fiend. Still has these 2 items, Helm of the Undyings.
Great item.
Skull Basher. That's a bit awkward onto Lone Druid, but doesn't really have a great target.
No, he doesn't have
This is kind of an underwhelming item, I feel like.
Yeah, you need a specific target for it, like something that wants to lock a target down.
Oh,
look at that Helm.
Yeah, the Helm actually gets
great
off
job. Yeah.
the Requiem as a result.
So what item do you think it's looking for especially here?
How
it's a new item.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Bracers of Sacrifice, or no, that's
Bracers of Desperation.
Bracers of. That's from Bracers of Sacrifice.
That's also from Artifact.
And if you think of Artifact, then that's actually easy to remember. Bracers of Desperation is Artifact in a nutshell. Okay, gotcha. Easy peasy. So this is going to be tomato, potato, and
there's enough
splitting
stuns
up
there.
here as a result.
Yeah, Usage should be super fine here, beating them. And he really wants to beat him because he wants to shout out that Bracer.
We got a couple on here too. Bracers on the Tiny.
Good old Smuggler.
And Terrorblade?
Oh.
Yeah, Smuggler. Pretty freaking good item.
Wait, did Terrorblade have Bracer? So he's just stealing life twice, basically sundering twice.
Did he? I'll have to take a look after this.
Oh, okay.
Tomato will die first. That's scary, but the bear is out, so 1 entangle. Probably not even going to be needed, honestly.
Yeah.
Good to go. All right, what are we looking at?
I thought you said the Terrorblade had another
Timbersaw.
Bracer. Okay, that makes more sense. So we actually have another Scrappy player going
one.
Mage Scrappy.
Joseph.
Very nice.
This is a little bit more standard, of course.
Really wants that 4 Scrappies, though. I think, if he's not going for 6 Mages.
Oh, yeah.
As
Only
we
found
know,
3 Aegis, by the way.
As we know, the Inventor Explosion deals 15 and then 30% damage from the maximum health pool. So the more health you have, the higher level they are, the more damage it deals. And with that mage buff, it deals an enormous amount of damage. I mean, what? Timbersaw 3 does have 3,000 something HP. That's 1,000 damage. And then the magic buff, I mean, pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
But as we talked about earlier, you need the 4th Inventor, which means you need a legendary unit, either Gyrocopter or Tekis himself.
Yeah. Looking at BBG's board right now, he has the full 6 Knights, which is kind of the BBG special, if I'm being honest.
And everybody else is special.
Yeah, that's true. He has Bloodbound on Dragon Knight, but it's only acting as an increase of HP at the moment.
Yeah.
But does have Mask of Madness on Luna, so, and actually has another Luna 2 on the bench, so we'll be getting a Luna 3 most likely this game with Mask of Madness. That is pretty much as good as it gets.
Yeah. Does it have Fall from Grace also?
I don't believe so.
Nope.
Negative.
Okay. So that's as good as it gets.
True. I did say almost as good as it gets.
That's,
so
I mean, I didn't say you were wrong.
you implied it.
Okay.
What do you think of Mech, by the way?
I think it's a really good item. Really good on Knights, especially because we talked a lot about it this earlier. If you increase the health of Knights a little bit or heal them, each point of HP is gonna, of course, be reduced by the Knight buff, so they're worth much more in Knights than in other setups.
All right, guys, we're going to see if YCA can successfully complete 2 win streaks in a row with this upcoming round.
He just has so much money. You can see a Sniper 2 on the bench.
Like,
and it's
how you
like,
doing today? Well, you know, got 3 level 2 units at
Yeah.
round 22 just sitting on the bench.
This is sometimes what happens when you have an embarrassment of riches, basically. And I know I did not mean the item, just the net worth of
The
Usage.
literal embarrassment of riches.
Exactly. That you can kind of buy whatever and kind of leave yourself open by buying level 2s, sacrificing money.
He did it.
Yeah.
I genuinely did
Have you
not
seen
think.
this?
No, I was just going to say, I don't think I've seen it. I was not expecting anyone to. I mean, I didn't expect anybody to go 8-0 to begin with.
Yeah,
Let alone
it's-
16. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, is this item like just way stronger than? I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but
It's fantastic.
It's like really, really
No,
good.
it's really good. When you think about it, it's so 5 armor already pretty good, right?
Yeah.
It's not amazing, of course, but it for sure makes sure that your spell goes off, and then you're not going to be targeted or stunned by anything. So that means that you have free range of attack, and we saw this a lot with Chaos Knight yesterday, but also Shadowfin. I mean, he deals huge chunks of damage. So 4 extra seconds of that is pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the warrior unstoppable global item that this is kind of turned into at this point, it wasn't great, but it was good on a couple heroes, right? Because you can only have it on warriors. But
Yeah.
Doom was like the right-clicking Doom, Lycan with the right-click when he was a warrior,
Exactly.
and of course Kunkka. Now the fact that you can put on any unit means that you have such a wide variety of choices.
Big change for sure.
And he's continued to dominate. He actually goes to level 9 at round 23.
Such is my man. I told you, this is what you do with Savages. I mean, sure, he has a lot of money, but you gotta be leveling.
That's all you gotta do is go 17 and 0.
Just don't go for 6 Savages. I mean, you can, but it's just way easier and more secure to level because 6 Savages, they do fall off in the late game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the 6 Knights are still here. Will he find Dragon Knight?
56 extra health. He has more than double health of the second player in this game.
So BBG can play a little bit riskier because of the Aegis. He's only at 17 health, but he's pretty close to getting some huge power spikes in the form of DK2, Luna 3.
Yeah.
And how far is he? He could go to level 8 pretty soon as well if he wants and just slap in this Necro.
Oh, Lord, you such. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit bad luck. But he might mitigate all damage if he takes 17 or more.
Right.
With the Aegis.
Not that that is better or anything, but...
I mean, if you take 16 damage here, you feel pretty bad. So if you're BBG, you're hoping... he's doing pretty well, actually. So
better than I anticipated.
Yeah, way better. Don't think he's going to win this.
All right, so only 3 units.
Depending on if these guys actually die.
What about the cask?
So yeah, 6, exactly. 7, 8... 8 or 9. I can't remember.
They don't want to spend a lot of money before the creep round being 25. And then I think there's a good chance after 25 that he'll go up to 8 and then roll like crazy just to
he's
get
going
that
all
DK.
in after the creep round, for sure.
Yeah.
And the fact that you don't have to really wait for a potential recruiter since it's not in the game anymore means that once the creep round starts, he actually goes all in. Till he runs out of space on the bench.
This is rough to see. You can see Chow Nice there in the bottom, also playing Knights. It's good for him that he might get kicked out, but Chow Nice actually started
the
roll.
It's good for Chow Nice that he might get kicked
No,
out.
it's good for BBG that Chow Nice might actually be kicked out, but
that's where this
Chow Nice already rolled all of his gold because, of course, he did not have Aegis. And here we can see the obvious difference between having Aegis and not.
Yeah.
However, Chow Nice already has DK2, and that makes it much harder for BBG to find his own.
Oh,
there we go.
Saying. All right, he got what he needed. Doesn't find any Lunas, which is a little unfortunate. Because the Luna 3 makes such a giant difference.
Does he have an enabler even for DK? No.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
I don't think it does.
All right, maybe not as giant of a... Oh, he has Viper if he wants. But he did level, right?
Yeah, he did level. Seems like he's going to put in another Warlock, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's going to put in Necrophos instead. But I'm not sure I think that's correct.
So, wanting to have the Heartless bonus?
Seems... No.
This is a tough call. What would you do? You would assume, I assume based on what you're saying, you'd put the Viper in just to activate.
Exactly. I think that... Sure, you can get 2 more.
And he got Moonshard. This is where I think Viper gets more clear, right?
You gotta put in Viper. Yeah, there we go. I mean, 2 alliances is great and all, but I mean, Dragon Knight, Dragon Form, it's like, who cares about the alliances? Come on.
Yep,
it's
totally agree. Wow, insane. 1 Witch Doctor away.
Oh, there we go.
What does he sell, if anything?
Necrophos.
Okay.
And taking Viper as well. You found the Viper there as well. Might as well buy it.
Yeah, Necro, at this point, you're so far away from being able to put that guy in. You can just forget
You see what usage did?
What?
It went to 10. My boy!
God,
I'm telling you, my boy.
Jeez.
This is what I love to see.
That's crazy.
Invest your winning streak into levels.
Yeah.
Go back to the old days. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. And looks like Dragon Knight's getting decimated here. Got hooked. The Demon lineup. Will this be the full... this will easily be 8 damage if he ends up going down. But, of course, does have Aegis. Problem is he doesn't really have any power spikes incoming unless he hits 2 Lunas. So this will be a close one. Chow Knives in the meantime, how's he faring?
I'm bad on 3.
Looks like he survives, so everyone's still alive.
Yeah, we're gonna see most of the time after 25, where if there's a few people with low health, they're gonna invest all their money, and usually they will survive a couple more turns if they're not very unlucky. I feel like. Can we see a? Can we see a full health game this round?
No.
Please.
Oh,
Please.
do I want to see it?
The
Yeah.
perfect game. Oh,
That would be pretty crazy. I
that a
do
witch
like
doctor?
that. I don't think I've ever
Nice.
seen that in a professional
me neither.
Underlords game.
Me neither. I mean, it rarely happens, even in pub
even
games.
in normal games.
Yeah,
Have you had a perfect game?
I have.
That's a lie.
I mean, you've seen it.
Yeah, I
You
know.
even commented on it. See?
I know. It's very sad. Actually, he faces off against Chow Knives, so that kicks Chow Knives out. And that means all of these knights will be available, which basically the Luna is the main.
Basically, the
Main
battle
thing
of
here.
the knights, right?
Oh, and actually Joseph goes out as well.
What was he running? Oh, the scrappy,
That's the scrappy
mages.
mage.
Yeah. Didn't get his 4th inventor, so pretty awkward. Also, the most important thing when you're going for inventors and scrappies is that you gotta get them to level 3. We talked about Clockwork a little bit, how he becomes immensely much stronger. Same goes for Tinker. Just gotta get those guys for level 3.
All right, BBG only 8 HP, completely out of gold. Can't hit his Luna 3, at least not yet. Hoping to Gaben that he will survive at least one more round for a potential upgrade here.
Usach actually lost now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
We
real
can see the
shame.
we can see the repercussions of Usach spending a lot of time
Yeah, but
into
you're
leveling
investing for
between
the
8
future,
to 10.
right?
Yeah, exactly. You're usually gonna lose because you don't, of course, use that money to roll, which is usually when you get your power spiked.
Wow, this tiny 3 is massive, and now Terrorblade just
Yeah.
pounding into these knights, and that looks like it's going to be A. Oh, actually, Aegis did go down, so
Tiny is
BBG out.
fantastic, fantastic with demons. Gotta say.
Yep, 16 damage. BBG is now 6th.
Does 4HE have Fall from Grace?
4 HE, 9 HP,
Nope.
no fall from grace.
Okay.
Although we got plenty to go around for
Maybe you
everybody
could
else.
get one from MeNoHaxor.
Yeah, true.
He has
Well, hey,
two.
it's your unit, man.
Seemingly.
Almost has
Oh,
Slaughter
my
3.
boy. Slaughter, my boy.
We got 2
Yeah.
Terrorblade 2s now. Bracers of Desperation sounds pretty good on Terrorblade
Yeah.
in theory.
Slaughter 2 is actually quite amazing. I mean, there's not as much magic damage anymore, so it's fallen off a little bit, but he's so good in late game. He hits like a truck, and he just spews out those minus armor. Very good. I mean, who cares about your opponent's warlocks healing themselves or knights trying to protect them when they get minus 45 armor, I believe.
Yeah.
Can we double check that to make sure?
One
No, we
second,
can't
friend.
actually.
I mean, this fight was completely set up with a toss on the entirety of the team into a Ravage.
Yeah.
So 4 he destroys MeNoHaxor, who does not have Aegis, so he's out into 5th place. So now we're to our top 4.
Yeah, seems like MeNoHaxor kind of got, I don't know, his setup did seem a little bit spread out. It was a little bit all over the place. Didn't really get it to work in the end.
And we have creep round coming up, so I think we're going to see a couple of players go completely all in, although Cmel and Snofe, not a whole lot of gold to work with. 4 he with a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like Usage is on another planet. Level 10, 2 levels higher, and 40 gold instead of 10, 5, and 17.
Is he finding legendaries? We haven't looked at his board in a bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting if Cmel finds his 6th Scrappy. It seems like he's going for the full 6. But it's of course very hard when you're only level 8.
Terribly. Oh, he just sundered somebody with no HP. What? What was that? He sundered and went to 0 HP.
That's not a
I
very
need to
smart
see a
target to
replay.
sunder.
That was the worst sunder ever.
That's also happened in my Dota games.
Oh yeah, that's normal. That's just from idiocy, right? That's not
Do we have
AI.
6 warriors? We have 6 warriors.
Oh, you're right. Wow. I never thought I'd
Very
see
nice.
the day.
Very
2
nice.
refresher orbs, Snofe and YCA pick it up.
This is very cool. I mean, Slaughter are working overtime in its setup with all that minus armor, so you can actually deal some amount of damage.
You know, I'm trying to understand how he got to 0 HP. Why would he choose a target with none?
Yeah,
You
I
think
don't
Helm
know.
of the Undying maybe messes with him a bit?
I think probably Helm of the Dying triggered first, and then maybe
No, he was
Sundered.
full HP.
Oh, okay.
He was
Well.
full HP, and then just
Sorry,
so weird.
not a dev.
Please.
4 HE, or I mean, usage having only 100 more net worth than 4
Well,
HE. No big
Forty
deal.
luckily does not fight against him. He's going against Snofe
Yeah.
right here. Still has Aegis, of course, so doesn't have to worry about dying as of yet. This Beastmaster for Snofe is at 2,600 HP with 9 kills only.
What about the axe?
Where is Axe?
He's on the other side now.
Oh, this fat guy here.
30 kills.
He's only gone up by like 4 since the last time we checked.
True, true.
We're seeing those bracers come into play, but it's not going to be enough as Snofe will definitely have enough damage to take out Forhe, but of course the Aegis is consumed. So now it's an even ball game in that regard.
Big. So 4HE has a big opportunity to find that last slaughter, but especially Terrorblade. And I think we're going to see a Crystal Medium is sold if he's not incredibly lucky in finding both immediately.
Level 10 with
TB3.
All right, we'll go to his board in a second. No legendaries, by the way, other than Troll.
Yeah.
So stuck with the same strat, just getting extra units. So actually, completely what you weren't saying to do, right?
Or he was just unlucky. Who knows?
That's true.
Yeah.
Or lucky if you look at the other way, actually finding lower cost units that he needs. Terrorblade 3 picked up, like you talked about, against for Forhe, playing Cmel this fight with the scrappy inventors, the scrappy demon inventors, I should say.
Plus the casual Crystal Maiden, always.
Yep, the beautiful Crystal Maiden always helping out. And there goes Terrorblade, going completely ham. And Cmel, is he out? Looks like he is out. That's going to be 3rd place for him.
Look at
Or
this.
4th place, I should say.
This setup is just amazing. I mean, you have 6 tank, and see how much crowd control you have on 4HE's board.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not only Kunkka, Tide, and Tiny, but, I mean, Pudge to some degree, he crowd controls a little bit, and Doom shuts down a unit. I mean, in this setup, Terrorblade can just roam free.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I don't know if I'd call Pudge crowd control. He definitely has, it's kind of a niche ability, right?
Depends on how far away the hook is.
That's true. It could be a global hook, as we call it in Dota. All right, so Forhe playing against the Ghost of YCA, which is still extremely scary. So will he go down in this fight, or can he survive another round?
I think he's going to win this quite easily, actually, because 4HE doesn't... Oh, sorry. Usage actually doesn't have that much damage to bring this Terrorblade down.
Oh, it's starting to stack up, though. Terrorblade trying to finish off targets, but there's so many to choose from. Veno 3, Enchantress 3.
All right.
We might have enough damage with this. Oh, the 4 seconds. If he had 5 seconds, that's a draw.
Yeah. All right.
Before he actually lives because of this item. That's so insane.
Very nice.
That's awesome. All right, let's look at
find a slaughter.
So Snofe, we talked about before, the brawny hunter. So I guess he wasn't memeing before. He just wanted to go hunters.
Yeah.
All right.
It's funny. I thought about it when the game started and I saw 2 acts. I'm like...
Ooh, we're very close, by the way, to the dream.
Right.
Sniper 3 with Mask of Madness. That's really good.
Great.
Would you put Mask on him now at 2, though, instead of Drow?
I think so. When you have 6 hunters, I think it's correct.
Okay.
But does he have 6 hunters, though?
5, actually.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah.
So Mirana's not in there right now, is she?
Nope.
Oh,
seems like he wants 3 warriors instead. Very interesting.
Very interesting. Okay.
Oh, this is terribly. Look at him.
Terrorblade feels like he's all alone for the most part, but he's one-shotting everybody. Look at this. Oh, man. Finally able to do enough damage, but that procs the bracers.
Oh, we're going to draw.
Oh, the draw comes through. So no damage.
This bracer Terrorblade.
Dude,
look at him.
It's sick. It is really sick.
Yo, indeed.
Forhe on his board, though, goes out into 3rd place. So we're going to get a rematch.
Is this the best helm I've ever seen? Of the Undying?
It's good.
Wait,
the best you've ever seen?
Did he get dropped up even though they drew? I'm confused.
Wait, Forhe? Maybe I was looking at a different board with the Ghost.
I mean, I saw Terrorblade last hitting, right? Was there any units alive? Did I miss something?
There were no units alive.
Okay, Evolve, I'm confused.
Do you take damage in draws now, maybe?
I think not. Not that I know of.
Maybe we missed something.
Excuse me, chat. I must be looking like a complete idiot right now, but
I'm
not really sure what's going on anymore.
All right, so YCA versus Snofe.
Pretty
Man
close
with,
to.
let's look at the net worth difference, by the way. 294 to 219. Ooh, look at that. Can't be right. Okay, that's bugged. I was gonna say 86 in third place. That's impressive.
Very close to Troll of 3 as well. I mean, he's level 10, so pretty high chance to hit those legendaries.
So Troll would replace who exactly?
So I think he has 3 warriors already, 3 heartless, 6 savages. You don't want to replace Kunkka.
By the way, what's better, Refresher or
Probably
Bracers?
Shadow Fiend. Yeah, I would remove Shadow Fiend. That's the only unit that doesn't
synergize directly.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't have too much synergy.
I'm interested in what these items are going to. 2 Refreshers and Bracers. I think Bracers are definitely correct on Lone Druid.
Agree.
All right, let's see. We got YCA versus Snofe, the Brawny Hunter versus the Savage.
I think usually Hunters has a pretty good matchup here in the late game, but Usage just has such a big lead that it might not even matter. He has so many units.
Let's see how much damage this axe can absorb right now. He's actually holding for the most part.
Yeah.
Mask of Madness Sniper continue going to town on this Lycan. The axe is continuing to be the tank that he wants to be. It's going to be close. The Bracers of Sacrifice again. I don't think he's going to be able to get this kill on Sniper. It's close, though. And Snofe holds off another attack. 23 gold still for YCA, though, as he takes 6 damage to the face. All right.
Very cool.
By the way, Battle Fury.
Can really see the true power of Axe in this Hunter lineup. Just tanking for such a long time.
Blink the whole game. He never went away from it.
Oh, Sniper 3. Look at that.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
now the Mask of
baby.
Madness is really... So talk about why Mask of Madness is really good on Sniper, because I personally used it all the time in auto chess, and for this game, I only put it on him if I get the level 3.
Right. So Sniper has this ability to assassinate. It takes some channeling time to do. It does a lot of damage and a lot of magic damage, and that's very good in the early game because it usually auto kills anybody.
Yeah.
But the later the game goes, the magic damage matters less and less, and it's more about just getting as many attacks in, especially when we have Heartless, more Hunters, and have a higher attack damage. They just don't want to stand there and channeling. Also, there's a good chance that your target will die, so then you have to start recharging your Assassinate.
That's very true. And with that, somehow, in all of that, he got worse. Right. He got decimated in that fight, not even remotely close. Now, the one thing I will say about this, as YCA takes this first game, I feel like I'm going to stick with my guns here, my friend. I think Blink Dagger and Axe, when you get to the mid to late game, is just not good, especially if you have level 3.
No, it's
like
not.
if you have that on Lycan, he's getting his wolves off faster. We saw in that last fight particularly, you just put a Necro in the corner.
Yeah.
He aggroes Necro, and who cares? Everybody else is taking damage. I feel like that is a bit weird, but maybe I'm missing something.
No, I don't think you are. I think it's a little bit too fancy, just a little bit too cute.
I mean, I can understand it because it makes sense. Blink, instant call. No, you can't really say that for anybody else other than Nature's or Prophet. But I don't know. It is a little odd to say the least. So let's see what the panel has to say about this first game as YCA4 takes it.